Hello everyone! So let's do this second battlefield in the 5th run of the Forbidden Battleground. Now, I gotta say this video is gonna be a little bit more boring in terms of am I doing anything interesting, because honestly this is a Legion of Glory clear, and when you try to do Legion of Glory clears with SRs, it's pretty much easy mode. Glory just has so many strong SR characters to work with. And of course that includes the core trio here, the main characters, Grenier, Matthew, and Almeida. They're all really good. In this particular case, Narm is also going to make an appearance. As you saw, first thing Narm did was just run to the left and just kill that flyer. And she actually killed it with a normal attack, which just shows how good Narm is at killing flyers there. I had to attack from 3 range using an Wikigrisser bow, because if I didn't do that, then the spider would actually be able to get in range, even with roundabout. So, it actually one-shots Narm when I tried that, so I just have to keep away from that thing. Otherwise, Almeida used her exclusive, and she doesn't even need to use her exclusive, but she used it to cast Tornado on the group and then disable the guard of the Treant, since they apparently decided that this time they wouldn't put one of those annoying immune to all debuffs guys next to the tank, so they can just lock down their feet. Chris is able to just take out 2 of the demons immediately, and that's because she has her exclusive right, and that lets her act again if she kills a demon. So right on turn 1 you kill 3 units, and that just makes things a lot easier. So here I just do another normal attack on the Treant to lock his feet down again. He has a 2-range. He does have a 2-range counter, so Almeida does take some damage on the counter. But now I just have to take out this stupid catapult, because this is one of those catapults that removes 3 buffs every time it hits you, which is very, very annoying. So Grenier has actually lost a bunch of his buffs now. Thankfully, that's after a very quick first 2 turns or so, the enemies are already really thin, so it's actually very easy to finish off the rest of the fight like this and just chip away at them. So that spider demon, the spider demon is walking on the ground, right? So the river is actually preventing it from being able to catch up with Narm. So it's going to keep trying to do that. So it's going to keep trying to chase Narm there, and it's just going to get stuck on the river. So meanwhile, I can just use the rest of the units to take out all these guys. These cuttlefish, as always, are really annoying because they're just really tanky. Grenier puts up his 3C, so now he has a ton of attack, and as you can see, he actually counters for a pretty good amount of damage here. And of course, that's because I'm using a double blue enchant on him, alongside just a lot of defense enchants. So he has a lot of attack after converting. So Wikigrisser's bow is preferable in cases like this where you know that you have to fight a bunch of 2-range enemies, because you want to be able to stay out of range of them. So, and of course Narm is just really broken after they gave her exclusive as far as PvE is concerned, because she can just lock down enemies forever, which just seems really busted. Of course, in a lot of challenge maps they made enemies immune to Moby down, so Narm isn't quite as exciting to use there, but sometimes they still are not immune to that, so it's pretty broken. And in fact, arguably, base Narm is better than SP Narm when you need her to do this. Obviously, because SP Narm does not do the Moby -3 upon hitting an enemy. She only does Moby -1 with her special talent. It's a special mobility down debuff that lasts forever, so that also has its uses. But if you want to lock down an enemy forever, it's better to use normal Narm. SP Narm does have the one passive that gives back another -2 mobility, but then you have to waste that passive slot. So last turn I was just playing Keep Away from the spider because I didn't really want it to cast Black Hole. it's one of those annoying spiders that I believe creates a bunch of terrain when you hit it, or whenever it hits you, so it just makes it needlessly annoying. Alright, so as expected, the Glory Clear was pretty fast and pretty easy. So let's move on to the Princess Clear, which honestly is also really straightforward because I pretty much use the exact same strategy here. I can still use Narm and Chris, who were the 2-star players in that last fight. The only difference here is that because I don't have Matthew to sprint anymore, I'm actually just going to go ahead and use Narm to sprint here. Sophia is going to use Goddess's Left Hand to lock down this Treant here, and then I can just do the same thing with Chris that I did before. So one thing you'll notice here is that I actually made a mistake in my skill loadout. Like, I accidentally brought the normal faction buff on Freya instead of her 3C, and I didn't even notice that I did that. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Well, I mean, I ended up clearing the map anyway, so obviously, like, I don't think there's any need for me to go back and redo this map with her using 3C if I can just clear it just fine without it. But that does mean that the only thing that Freya is using to guard with is that 1C Protect passive that I brought with her. But anyway, as you see, like, I'm doing pretty much the same thing here. Take out the 2 demons at the start. The only different thing is that I couldn't go straight for that flyer immediately. And he actually stays in place the first turn, so which does make it a bit troublesome because he's gonna stand there and continuously cast heal block on my team, which isn't so bad because it only lasts 1 turn anyway. But unlike last time, I can't just trap the spider on the river because Narm didn't walk left and bait her over there. So instead, what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna back off. Make sure that the spider can't reach me with her black hole, and that's really not like, it really doesn't make that big of a difference because the map designer has decided that like the spider is going to have a tank next to her, but the tank only has 3 move, so the spider is just gonna run way ahead of her tank and just gonna leave herself exposed, so it's really not a problem. So I take out the catapult here because it's just it constantly dispels you and it's just really annoying. So here comes that gargoyle. So as you saw, as you can see, like the other DPS I decided to bring here is actually Liffany, and that's because in like really high level challenges here, where enemies have really inflated stats, fixed damage from units like Liffany is just really strong, especially if your units are not that well raised, or like your enchants aren't that good yet. Fixed damage really helps. So as so Liffany is just constantly bringing pain to these enemies, and thanks to the way Wikigrisser works, where enemies get weaker as they lose HP, or at least in this game, it's because they have less troops, right? But either way, it just means that things will be easier, even if I don't kill the enemies. So Freya finishes off the Treant with her barbs. Oh, that fixed damage is doing its job. So now I want to get rid of that stupid gargoyle. So I do have Freya on her base Valkyrie class instead of her SP class, just to show I'm not using SPs if I don't have to. And that works pretty well here. I mean, her SP class is also a holy class, but Valkyrie is a holy class, and that is pretty useful here because you have this demon here, which is you have this archdemon here, and when Freya is in her holy class, she's gonna take no damage. So only thing left, take out this gargoyle, and yeah, there's really nothing left. Just have to clean up the rest of the enemies, and I'll be done here. So yeah, this particular Battleground was pretty easy because they gave you the really good factions that have lots and lots of good SR characters to choose from. So this one wasn't too hard. So thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next one.